Hey everybody, Lee Smith, Spouses Buying Houses. Lately I've been noticing that the wholesalers are kind of being misleading. They're trying to generate interest, so they're posting up a bunch of crazy numbers and they're not really running the numbers for you and hoping you don't run the numbers. I'm assuming they're hoping you don't run the numbers, or maybe they don't know how to run numbers. Anyways, let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. So this is an advertisement I saw this morning. Indie flip or quick wholesale play. Huge spread. Okay. Um, Here's the address. They've removed the address. I'm assuming because of the fact that other wholesalers are all trying to pile onto each other's deals and add more money. So you might see another ad where it comes out and it's 150,000 or 170,000 or something like this. And so they're just removing the addresses. Could also be that they don't like people like me that run numbers on deals. So you buy for 145,000. They're saying the ARV is 235,000. Okay. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. It's 2,930 square feet. Now I can tell you right now, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. That's a huge house, so that's probably not right. It's probably half that. 1,465 for the main floor, which is the 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and then there's probably a full basement underneath it, which is unfinished. And in the numbers we're talking about, it's probably not going to be cost effective for you to try and finish it. Quick exit: find a retail buyer at 180K, and you'll make 36K profit. Now 180 minus 145 is 35K, so I'm going to assume he just fat fingered it. All right, let me show you why this does not work. So you bought it for 145,000. ARV, a quick sale, is 180,000. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you right now that there's probably going to be some closing costs. When you go to buy this from the wholesaler, he's probably promised the seller that all closing costs will be paid by the buyer. So you're going to probably spend $3,000, $1,500 to $3,000. God help you if you have to pay property taxes, because we pay a year in arrears. So it could be a year, and it's January right now, so a year and a month of property taxes you got to pay, if you got to pay the property taxes. Holding costs. Now, I'm figuring you're going to get a hard money loan on this house, and I'm just figuring it based off of the full price, 100%, which you're probably not going to get. So the cheapest I've seen hard money loans is 10%. And then usually there's 2 to 5 points on top of that. If you don't know what a point is, 1 point is equal to 1% of the loan value. So if you got a loan for $150,000, 1 point is $1,500. Most of these hard money lenders are 2 to 5 points. So on a $150,000 loan, you'd be looking at about $3,000. And that's on top of this. This is just a loan mortgage calculator that's saying if I kept the house for 6 months, that I'm going to pay about $7,400. Does not include the points. Realtor fees. If I got to get a realtor involved, it's probably going to cost me about 10%. I know you guys are saying 6%. I get 6%. I get 5%. I get 2%. Well, then you can change your numbers. But most likely it's going to cost you about 6 to 7% to the realtor. And then it's also going to cause, you're going to get something stupid that you're going to have to pay for repairs or whatever to try and get the deal done. So it's probably going to be about 10%. So there's your profit. Not 35K, not 36K. It is $6,600. If I don't have to pay any realtor fees, yes, it's about $24,600, but I think you're going to end up paying something, and it's probably going to be close to 10%. That's just the way it is. All right, let's go back and look at these numbers again. All right, so light rehab. So he's saying if you put 15 to 20K in, then you could probably sell for 210K. He's saying that's 45K profit. So 210K minus 20K is 190. 190 minus 145, that's 45K. So we got the numbers right there. So 210K. All right, so let's change our numbers. 210K. Whoops. 210K, but we're going to put $20,000 into rehab. Then you made 12,600. Is that worth it? Let's say you don't have to pay realtor fees, 33.6. So you got a loan, hard money loan for 168,000, 33.6, which this is unrealistic. Most of them are going to be 60-70% of your ARV. You're going to have to come to the table with money. So if there's no realtor fees, I think if you're getting a 210, you're going to have to deal with a owner occupant. and owner occupant is going to want to pay, have a realtor. So you're going to probably pay the 10%. So 12,600 is your profit. All right, let's look at the last one, 260 to 280K. I'm not sure where this 235K number comes from, but all of a sudden we're up to 260, 280K. Maybe he's doing a full rehab and then finishing the basement. So I don't know, but let's run that number. 260K. Actually, we'll do the big old nasty 280K. And then he said $60,000 in rehab. You're going to definitely have a realtor involved. You're definitely going to have some fees because you're doing over the top. You're going to have inspection, repair costs, blah, blah, blah. So you made about $33,600. So on a $208,000 loan, you made about 15%. Now, the market we're in, do you really think that you're going to get, unless the house is perfect, the buyers are picky now. They are, I don't want to say it's a buyer's market, but you've got to be a lot more on your game than just throwing it on the market and you're going to sell it immediately. So, buyers are pickier now. They want to get their money worth. So if your house isn't perfect, perfect floor plan, perfect lot position, perfect, if you're on a busy street, that sort of stuff is going to count against you. So you're not going to get full ARV or full, sales costs if it's not that way. So anyways, 33.6 on that one. If you sold it for 280, but let's be realistic. It's probably 260 and you made 15,600. Is that worth it to you? I mean, even at the 15%, I guess if you did 2 of them in a year, you'd make 30%. But I think in this market, I think it's going to be tough for you to do, to make that 15%. I think it's, if you're running with those numbers. That's why you got to be smarter. You got to be savvier. You got to run your own numbers and know what you're doing. All right. Let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, you think I'm off base, whatever. Let me know, please. I'm happy to talk, to debate, not scream and holler at you. Thanks.